getting my last video together, my review for 2025, my first year on YouTube, I was pondering on how the concept of time, and particularly our famous phrase, time flies. Doesn't time fly? It tends to take on an additional meaning when we get into the Gen X and beyond and older age groups, because I think we definitely become more acutely aware of time. And so this is a very poignant concept in the video today, time, and how we see it as we get older. So I think there is a point that many of us, and me included, and especially I would say in the last few years since I've had 2 major bereavements that I've gone through. Those of you who've been following my channel, I am a widow now. I lost my dear hubby of 22 years in 2022, and then also my dear mum in June 24. So I know about bereavement, and I think that when we say time flies, we're actually really just acknowledging it. Even when you're younger, we have that acknowledgement. But time is definitely becoming more and more precious to me. Now please, before I go on, don't take this whole video as rather morbid or Steffi, is there something wrong with you and you're about to leave us? Not that I know about. So I'm just really reflecting on our concept of a time and how I'm feeling about things, and how I can really imagine that this will resonate with many people in my age group and beyond. So I think that when we say up to say about the age of 50, and we're often thinking in terms of, or saying that we're building for the future, I think that's very common. It's a very good thing to do. But there's a future, there's something that we're building towards. But I think when you reach closer to the 60s and beyond, you're starting to really realize that what is the future? The future is pretty much now. And what are we doing? You know, what are we doing with our time? What are we thinking in terms of, you know, using our money for different things, or spending our life working or not working? When should we retire? That kind of thing. So let's not see it as a morbid video today, but just really a very reflective one, and one that I hope resonates with many people, especially in my age group now. And these are important reflections that I wanted to share with you. So while I'm healthy and physically and mentally, I am in a good place as well, where I can actually reflect back and think about how I want my 60s to be, and how I want my 70s and so on to be. I think that when we have probably heard that phrase many times, well, haven't you grown very quickly, and where did that time go? I think we now should apply to our own lives and apply that concept of, well, yes, time is actually very precious, and do it. Now, what do I mean by that? Just do it. So what I'm seeing is that there are many times when in our whole lives we might think, oh, I'd love to do that. I'd love to go whitewater rafting, or I'd love to go and visit that country, or I would just love to go to the Kent countryside and have a weekend break. So I'm really just saying, do it now. And why now? Why not leave it another few years? So maybe I'm not in any way suggesting that, I'm not promoting a reckless life. I'm certainly not promoting or condoning going and upsetting people and doing things that, you know, others wouldn't, you know, would offend them or make them feel uncomfortable. But if you have the opportunity to visit a friend, or do a visit somewhere, or go and visit your mother-in-law, or who happens to live, mine happens to live in Miami. And that's one of the things that I've planned to get on and do. It's been something in my mind to do for a while, and I'm just going to do it. I'm going to get on a plane. I've been blessed to be able to do that, and I'm going to fly to Miami and see my mother-in-law a couple of days. So hopefully that will be a blessed little visit there. But that kind of thing, I've tended to think, well, yeah, that's in my mind to do, but not now, not now. I've got other things I have to do. Well, eventually we have to come to that point of saying, let's take the opportunity and actually do it now, and don't let any time go past. So in our Gen X years and plus, we've become a bit more experienced, I would say, in assessing how precious time is. Because when you're younger, I was just having this conversation with my daughter today about something, and we were recognizing that when you're in your teens and 20s, you tend to think, well, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll pick up that tomorrow. I'll go and do that tomorrow. I'll pay for this tomorrow. And guess what? Tomorrow never comes, really, does it? It never comes. So all of this is important stuff for us to think about, I think. So recently, what spurred me on to do this video, really to get on and actually do the video, was that I've had a couple of times when I've come face to face with a couple of people, one precious dear friend of mine who's had a serious health condition or concern coming up, and she's got it now, and she's younger than me. So what do we do with that? I thank God that I have good health, but at the same time, I don't think I should assume that I'm going to be here for years and years and years. I think I need to get on now and take the opportunity when I can to go and do that thing that I've wanted to do or plan to do. If I have the means and I'm able to and I'm willing, of course, and in the case of visiting folks, if they're willing. I'm not suggesting that we should just land on people's doorsteps or come and visit someone who doesn't want to be visited. But if we have that opportunity and it's in our hearts and minds and desires to do that, I think we should plan to do it, to take that opportunity. So I have personally experienced that concept of time moving faster, or seeming to, because in the last year, this is now January 26, well, in January 25, I was still a homeowner in England. I was living in England, I was working in England. My life was there, and in 1 year, I'm now moved continents back to the States. I've moved a bunch of stuff. I've bought new stuff. I have a new home. And now I'm thankfully back seeing some of my long-term friends that I've had in the area here in Florida. What a lot's happened in 1 year. So I'm realizing that it's just flown by. It literally has, really. Even though at the time I was thinking that a house sale was taking a while, it really wasn't. It was over in 3 months. So things can happen a lot faster than we think as well. So going back to the assuming or assumptions, we're not necessarily wrong in making assumptions like that. It's totally a human thing to make a fair assumption that tomorrow morning I'll wake up, I'll have my coffee, tea or granola, and I'll go off and do what I'm doing for the day. It's a fair assumption. I have every hope that that would happen. And so nearly all of us have that too, unless we have a situation where we have a reason to not believe that. But one of the big just do it type things on my list to do is to visit my family in England. Now, I know that sounds a little funny because I've just literally moved here in October, but already 6 months has gone past almost by the time that I fly over there. And so I made that decision, I thought about it carefully. And it's not that I have a lot of money. It's not that I'm rich and I can just literally fly anywhere I want. But at the same time, I know that I'm able to organise that and cover it. So I decided after a lot of thought and prayer to go over and visit my family in England, my daughter. So I'm really looking forward to doing that. So apart from saying, well, just go ahead and do it, what are the reasons why we might not do something? Why are we not getting that lovely dress out of the closet and wearing it? Or why aren't we getting out that lovely dish to lay out, for a salad or something, a salad bowl? What's stopping us? Why are we storing these things up? And we all do it, and I know I definitely have, and I am now. I have things in my closet, even despite moving and purging and downsizing, which would make a whole another video, I believe. But I have things in my closet that I'm thinking, not wearing that. I'll keep that. What for? When? When are you going to wear it, Steffi? You paid this for that, or you got this for some reason or occasion. Well, I think we need to just go ahead and do it. Small things, bigger things obviously take more thought and prayer, or wisdom. Should I spend that money on an extra flight going to England? Should I travel up to New York to see my sister? That kind of thing. So I know some people might say, well, I can't just make snap decisions like that, Steffi. I have to think about my children here. Or I'm mainly thinking about when you get into the 50s and 60s where your children are possibly older and they may have even left home, or you're actually on your own. You're either widowed or married with somebody. In that case, obviously you have to work with your partner, your husband. But in my case, being a widow right now, I feel like I have doors opening for me where I can actually go and choose to do a few things, whereas for a long, long time, I couldn't even go. My husband, sadly, was at home for the last, really 2.5 years. He had a hospice situation and couldn't be left alone, so we had to rearrange things in my whole life where I couldn't just go. I just couldn't, unless there was a carer there, of course, So yeah, that was another story right there. But it's just an example of, I'm sure viewers can think of examples where they've spent time, or they've been in a situation, oftentimes a happy situation where you've got beautiful children around you, but you still just can't, decide to do something without considering their needs or their situation. They go to school, what they want and don't want, and so on. So this is what I'm seeing in my life now, and I just think it's so very important to make a decision. If you're willing and able and have the means to do it, go and do it. A friend of mine very recently smiled and said to me, do you want to go white water rafting? Well, for those of you, or people in my family especially, and my friends too, I'd like to ask each one of them, can you imagine me doing whitewater rafting? A couple of them might say, well, yeah, possibly. Depends how gushy it is, how rocky it is, where it is. So my initial reaction was, guess what? No. I'm not doing that. But I have to ask myself, what is stopping me? What are the reasons? And that's what I'm asking my viewers today as well. What would you say is stopping you from getting out, say, some nice plates or putting up that picture finally? What's stopping you from doing that? What's stopping you from going for a walk? What if there's somebody that you believe could make you happy? And I'm talking about maybe single, divorced or widowed people right now who are possibly looking for a relationship, but for whatever reasons, they have their fears, they have their anxieties, or something else is holding them back. What's stopping you there? These are all very important questions I think we need to ask ourselves. What if you had a possibility of having a wonderful relationship and a very happy, fulfilling relationship, but for whatever your reasons were, your mind was just constraining you or stopping you even. And then later on, when you get older and you think back and think, wow, I really had an opportunity there to be married or married again or happy. That would be a sad thing. It would be a very sad thing to be sitting there in your, say, 80s and 90s thinking about it. So just a point that I wanted to add into that as well, into the mix, into the equation. Whatever it is, whether it's a purchase, a relationship, a marriage, travel, whatever that may be, stopping you from doing that. What's stopping you from going for a walk? Now, please bear with me with this. If you have a disability or you're not well or you're not able to walk, I'm not talking about that situation. I very much sympathize. And so please take this in the meaning that I mean. If you're able to, then what's stopping you from going for a walk? What's stopping you from going on knocking perhaps on your neighbour's house and just saying, hey, how are you? You know, are you okay? Especially if they're older people as well, I would say, or people living on their own and so on. What's stopping us from going for that job if we are still wanting to keep working? What's stopping us from doing that online job or buying this or that? I've been blessed to have some wonderful things given to me, but one day I want to be able to be in that position where I can be spontaneous and think, I'd like to show that person some kindness. I'm going to do it. I'm going to give that person something. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to do it, you know, that kind of thing. Or what's stopping you from putting on some makeup and going out to, say, a coffee shop and just going on your own and buy yourself a coffee, enjoy the atmosphere, maybe read something edifying. You don't know who you're going to meet. Or just to chat with, or just to be on your own. What's stopping you from doing these things? Oftentimes we have a lot of fear inside us in different degrees. We have anxieties that really, when we actually analyse it more deeply, they're not really founded in reality. They're founded in what we've maybe experienced already, or things that we just literally imagine. Well, what if I go down to the coffee shop and people think that they're just looking at me thinking, why is she sitting on her own? You know, why hasn't she got a boyfriend or a husband? What's wrong with her? Now, I'm not suggesting that a lot of people would do that, but they do. So let's face it, some people do. We have preconceptions about people when we go into a restaurant and I'll see them. I've done it myself, so I know it happens. Maybe we're not meaning it in a mean way, but anyway, so I'm going off the subject there a bit. But my train of thought was to say that we worry about all these things sometimes. They're the kinds of things that stop us from doing things. And then, of course, financial concerns. So if we are financially strapped or trying to save money or something else to do with finances, fair enough. We can't always afford to go, say, rent a car and, you know, go somewhere where it costs, you know, a concert, music concert or something. Oftentimes we haven't got the spare cash for that. So the important thing to say there is, if you had the money, would you still go or not go? Or would you find another reason not to go? Or would you find another reason not to do it? So they're my questions really today to ask myself. What's stopping me from possibly going camping in the forest? We have got a lot of beautiful area around here in Florida, and the first thing that comes to my mind is, of course, fears of coming up against wild animals or possibly a snake or something like that. Not my favourite things. But there's always usually a way around those types of fears. There's usually a way that we can get around things. We can sit there all day and make excuses, or we can just literally imagine things that really shouldn't be there. So I'm very proud of my daughter. She is very much a person of, if there's something that needs to be done or she'd like to do, usually she'll plan it all in, and she'll have a very can-do attitude about things. Recently she decided that she wanted to arrange all her clothes in the Murray condo. Now I'm probably saying her name wrong, but I think she's a sweet Japanese lady who's well known. She's made many videos, shout out to her, about organisation, and she'll literally show you how to fold up a piece of underwear or a t-shirt or something like that, and she'll like roll it up in a drawer. It's so neat, but that kind of thing is quite laborious if you think about it, all the t-shirts and things that we have thrown in our drawers and cupboards. But she literally has such an amazing knack. Her kind of hallmark, if you like, her phrase, her special phrase is, decide if it brings you joy or not. And I think that's a very good thing to point out in our little chat here today about just do it, don't wait. I think we need to find out, is it going to give us joy or not? If it's not going to give us joy to go and visit that person, don't do it unless there's another particular reason, like you need to, they're not well, or a family reason, and so on. So I think we need to focus on these things. It's very important as we get older. What do you think? I'd love to hear your comments and your responses to this today. By the way, I've noticed that a lot of my viewers that I have, I'm thankful for each one of you, by the way. But please subscribe, because I am planning on doing quite a few more videos, especially life issues as we get older. And now living back in the States, I plan to do a few vlogs out and about in this glorious countryside that we have here, possibly some travel things, but pondering life issues as we get older. So any thoughts? Please like and subscribe, and I will look very much forward to seeing you in the very next video. Cheerio for now.